Hello everybody, this is Alex101 and welcome once again to RUSE multiplayer. It's a 3 versus 3 game played on the map of Scrum. Myself Alex101 with the United States of America, Kagetora 777333 with Great Britain, and Tupu with the United States of America. Well, we're up against Puzan with Germany, Swift with France, and FHS Oxurit with Great Britain. Alright, so what I did at the very beginning was that I made 3 supply depots out here, 1, 2 and 3. Then I continued to make one more, then I continued to make an advanced base over here by putting up a secondary HQ out there. Then I expected my opponent, who was having Great Britain, to attack this zone with, or rather hamper my supply depot production, engineering trucks and the rest, using his fighter bombers. So I sent an M16 to save my engineers. Well, Tupu decided to launch an airborne attack on his opponent using paratroopers, but that failed because he noticed that his opponent Puzan already had AA guns installed out there. Okay, by now I have already finished making the supply depots and up to making the rest of the bases. My strategy will be to build approximately 10 or 15 Pershing tanks, advanced heavy tanks they are, along with infantry, some 10 or 15 of them, with 7 or 8 AAs and 5 recons or something like that. In this pattern, if I attack in a very fast, if I'm able to make this entire juggernaut attack in about 3 minutes, it's a good chance for me to overrun my opponent. Well, seeing that his opponent was having anti-aircraft guns, Tupu decided to move ahead and attack my opponent instead using airborne troops, air transport aircrafts. Let's see what happens. However, meanwhile, my strategy of making Pershing tanks was put to a halt when I found the British player FHS Oxurit sending an armored recon up to my base and trying to hamper my secondary base deployment. Up there, Tupu's paratroopers are under heavy attack from enemy fighters, fighter bombers and the rest. But despite, Tupu manages to reach his base, but instead of dropping them right in front of the HQ, he decides to drop the payload, drop the airborne units a bit far from the HQ. However, by that time, my opponent managed to make some AA guns which are fighting at his airborne, so many of them won't actually make the site. If I was at his place, I won't have been attacking in this map with this airborne units. Especially when I'm this late. Actually, it's already 4 minutes past. I won't have been attacking. Anyways, it was Tupu's wish. Well, over in my front, I was able to counter maneuver his tank and armored recon rush using some medium tanks, and I was able to successfully pull down that attack, force that attack out of my base, and continue establishment of my secondary base. Well, after some time, I noticed my opponent was building some sort of a tank base or something like that. It included also infantry and also had anti-tanks and all. I decided to ambush him and send 5 of my infantry units. They were upgraded infantry units to the forest. Then I began producing the Pershing tanks. While in the meanwhile, my opponent was actually going to start the attack. You can see he just to test my defenses. He sent a few infantry units. He will soon send them over to my side and test my defense strategy. Well, I moved my recon towards him to find out what he was hiding. He had infantry, he had anti-tank, he had the Matilda tanks. Over here the fight will be interesting. My tanks as well as hidden infantry units ambushing and actually destroying my opponent's troops. Well, I'll consider this to be the most critical point of the match, as in this case, seeing his units getting defeated like that, he was desperate and started sending a lot of troops, including a lot of heavy tanks, Matilda tanks, towards my base. Unlikely for the British not to use the air power, rather attacking myself, who's having the faction of America, using just armor. Well, he also had tank destroyers, and I made plenty of infantry, Pershings and all, and I just made them and threw them over at my enemy. You'll soon find it out. To support my advance, I applied the rules of blades as well as radio silence, so that I could hide as many units of myself as possible. There you can see his units are getting slaughtered out there, and here comes the air support from his ally. But even that was not of much help. Then I took the entire juggernaut and just threw all of them at my enemy, and my ally comes here helping me with his planes. I applied the rules of blades over there, and well, my opponent will soon surrender as his base is all gone. There you see. Then I went out to destroy the base of Swift. He was actually, frankly, he was the best player among my opponents, and well, but even he was of no use when I just pushed my Pershing tanks towards him, and it all went down. I began attacking the third guy. While I was busy in the northern sectors, the third guy actually managed to push through into Tupu's base and was annihilating him. But however, Tupu had sufficient number of fighter bombers to take care of his tanks, and supported by my ally, he was able to actually overthrow that offensive. Meanwhile, I pushed my army into my opponent's into the third guy's base, and well, captured his HQ and all. Then finally he surrendered. A very good game to my opponents. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.